There's something called the insights maturity model. Now, what is that, and how do we use that to say that 35% of insights functions are strategic partners? We'll learn from the latest study that looked at the insights maturity model, which was commissioned by GRBN in 2023, 2024. And we'll look at the key drivers of maturity. What are they? How do they actually operate? And why are they important? Amongst those drivers, there are two, which we'll concentrate on first, which are structure and diversity and relationships within the organization. Understanding the context in which consumer insights works and why consulting skills are important within that context. So let's start with the insights maturity model. This is how BCG, Boston Consulting Group, put it out there in a paper that they did with ourselves and with Yale University in terms of where consumer insights functions lie within certain companies. And there are basically four types. The first, stage one on the left, is the traditional market research provider. These are functions where essentially they're order takers. Somebody will come along and say, I need 5 focus groups and I need them by Monday. And they say, yes, sir. And off they go and do that. There's pretty much no budget. They're service providers. One level up, business contributors. They have a more strategic focus, but they're not really strategic partners, but they could be thought leaders. And then the third stage, getting into being a strategic insights partner, being a real trusted advisor, having some budget control, deciding what you're going to be studying, what you're not. That is where you're really starting to make an impact on the business. And then fourth, source of competitive advantage. Very few consumer insights functions actually fall into this fourth area. It's very difficult to get there, but it's focused on foresight. It's predictive. It's not just looking in the rearview mirror, and it's basically in charge of its budget entirely. So, back in 2009, only 10% of companies were in stages 3 or 4. 2015, it was 20%. Now it's about 35%. So we're getting there. So let's have a look at, okay, if we're getting there, if 35% are now there, what is driving that? What are the successful companies and the successful consumer insights functions doing? How are they organized to be able to get to that point? The first is in structure and diversity. The sources and volume of data that we now use and we now have to use has become so diverse and so intense that there really is a need to integrate and, above all, synthesize and communicate the insights that they yield. So the more mature CI functions are integrating with other data functions much, much more than they did in the past. It's also true that societies are becoming more diverse in themselves, certainly in the United States, very much so. And therefore, it's incumbent upon us that we understand all the diverse areas of society by having functions that are themselves diverse and can understand that world. So that is also now something that mature functions are doing. The second area is in the relationships that those functions actually have with the stakeholders across the business. They're more involved, they're deeper, and they're to be found right across the business with human resources, with finance, with production, supply chain. It's not just with marketing anymore. The third area really lies in abilities, but these go well beyond just basic market research, well beyond just learning about how to do market research, much more into consulting, activation, and leadership skills. And then fourth, as I said earlier, communicating proof of your value. It is so important that you actually are able to communicate that you have value and how big that value is.